Hey, it's Mark here again with another trading video. This is all on the fly, nothing scripted. I'm just gonna do a video for as long as I feel like it because I've got all weekend to upload it. So, so the market's not open until Monday. So I'm just gonna go over everything I want to talk about right now. This is my watch list. I've got my main watch list up here, mostly longs. I've got I usually keep the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. That's what I've been looking at lately. And I've got Chinese stocks, and I have a pretty small watch list usually. And lately, it's been doing really well for me. I've actually had, even though I've had pretty few watches, I've missed a lot of stuff. Like I missed NYMX. I'll just go ahead and look at that one. You might remember it from a blog post not long ago. NYMX is a pharmaceutical or a bio. It's in the healthcare sector, and it's one I traded a long time ago. I traded it back here. In another video, I thought I traded it here, but it's been so extreme that it's run so many times. It's run back here. This is when I traded it. Was back in April. I noticed that flag forming right there. This was a huge bull flag, a multiple day bull flag, which was really cool because I saw it. I noticed it right a couple days before it ran. I I'd seen it run, and I just kept scanning for volatile stocks, and it showed up. It actually, geez, it actually flagged here when it was 50 cents a share. This is an incredible. That's an incredible stock this year. So I traded it there, and I might have traded it there too. I can't remember. Yeah, I think I might have traded this. Yeah, I traded it the second time too, but I got most of the run that day, and I sold it intraday, and then I got it there for like a swing trade. So I saw it here, and it failed nasty. It failed to break out huge, and then just consolidated. And I noticed it here again. I noticed it back not long ago. I noticed it around here, and I never traded. I wasn't very confident in the breakout just because of how it acted around breakouts lately. It failed. That breakout was a horrible fail, bullish or bearish engulf, and it just the momentum was seemed gone from it. Then it flagged here. Didn't see that one. I did see it up here and here, and I was short biased. I posted up on the blog and one of the watch lists that same day. I noticed CLNE, and that was another short. There's almost identical chart, or no, it was actually more of a trading range short. But it was a really good. The CLNE was a really good short, and I had this and like one or two other stocks on my watch list, and I shorted the CLNE successfully. This was not long ago, and well, yeah, just a few days ago, or like 5 days ago, or whatever. And and NYMX was a yep, it's a red candle above the upper Bollinger Band, which is one of my favorite short setups. Well, it may be the superior short setup, just because it will, when it's right, nail the top or nail a top on a stock. So there's more, there's a lot more gain to be had if you nail the top, of course. If you short a breakdown, it's probably already come down a lot. But anyway, so I I was gonna short this one, and I was just too busy with my other stocks. Like I had like three other positions on or something like that, and I missed it for whatever. Or it may not. I think it actually didn't make the jump from my scan to my watch list. So I put the other ones on my watch list and not this one. Because other ones were equally as good too. But on this one, that would have been a great short. And I probably said, short the breakdown of on that day was the low was 384. So if you shorted it 383, it made sense and was a good trade. I might have gotten shaken out here, but it still would have been a good one. But then that just goes to show the streak I'm on. I mean, I'm on a crazy streak right now with finding these good setups. So I'm still on a streak with my other ones. Uh, SLP, SLP. I put up on Twitter last night. Uh, didn't make it to the blog, but I put it on Twitter because I found it in a scan. And SLP was a great. It's a great momentum stock. And this was the day. You see, remember yesterday was Thursday was a horrible day for pretty much every stock in the United States. I mean, just about. I mean, all the momentum stocks had all crashed and were crashing and stuff. So this one was actually breaking out. It broke out that day. It printed. It went out at 984. Finished up on the day that day, and it broke the high of 978. So it broke out when every other stock was down. And I found this one just looking through gainers. I was looking at 8% or more gainers in a day, or was it 5%? Anyway, it showed up in the scan, and I saw this really cool momentum chart. See the flag. There's a flag. Light volume. You always want to see light sell volume days on a bull flag because it means there's not that many sellers. So when there aren't many sellers, what does that mean? Yep, more buyers. People want to buy it. So it's just consolidating, and that's what a flag is. It's a consolidation. There's a lot of buyers on the move up. See, it broke out right here. There's a lot of buyers, and then it kind of takes a rest as some people sell and others are buying. But there's more buyers, or there's not as many sellers as buyers, and well, there's more sellers, but it's just very light. Like this day here, it had volume was 301. It traded 301,000 shares. 301,000 shares changed hands that day. And then on the flag, the highest day was 101,000 shares. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these red bars that show the volume. Here it was only 89,000. I'm kind of looking far at my monitor here. I use my one big TV as my screen. So it's that was a cool flag. So I saw that, and then there's another flag, and then I saw this flag right here, and it also happened to be a triangular consolidation, triangular flag, or you can call it a pennant. The books I've read, a pennant is always it's a little less defined. It's just kind of clumped together. It's not a flag or a clear triangle, but this one was this one is definitely a triangle. I mean, the way the lows hit the highs on the consolidation, and the volume. I saw the volume. The sell volume was light. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at the sell volume. Sometimes it's not always that way. Sometimes the sell volume will be high. It'll be like, that day it changed 301,000. But when you see the low volume, it's good. So I saw that and this beautiful flag forming. So I put that up on Twitter and immediately put a market order out to just buy at the open because I mean probably 8 times out of 10 or something this thing will work out. This kind of setup will work, and it's already up a good. I mean it's up a good bit. So I mean if I found it here, it would have been a lot cooler. But and the way I looked at the way it traded in the past on these run days, like here it was actually it was still running. It was still in play. I mean it's still going, and it traded down. Like it actually broke down from the lows and then came up. And then here it actually ran the whole day. Ran, but here's a little more. It tends to run like here it ran, and then the next day it just came back all the way and then up. And here it did the same thing, and it went back down all the way, almost all the way. Ended up dojiing or hammering, and then here. So I figured there's a good likelihood it's gonna probably come down to. I figured it'd go down to like 940, or it could even gone below the near the below the close of the other day, and so that's why I just put a mark because my risk, my the better I can get an entry, on that one, the better I'll have my risk reward set up. So I mean, I'll be able to stop. I would be able to take a loss pretty quick and not lose much. So, but anyway, I mean, I was position trading it anyway. I knew I wasn't going to be day trading, so I kind of had to anyway. So luckily it worked out. Well, not luckily, but it worked out. It worked out pretty well. As you can see, the stock was up. I believe that the high was probably up like 4% on the day, but I'm up. I'm up 3.8% roughly. So I'll probably take profit on that tomorrow because it usually doesn't run that long. And I figured I would have at the most a 5% gain based on how it's run in the past. See, the candle was not it ran just as much as it did here and there. So I'll probably take profits on this one quickly. Also, because it's up so much. I mean, 6 to 10 isn't that much, but um, I'll show you the long-term chart. You'll see what I'm talking about. I was actually I think I was looking at it on a 10-year or a 5 or 10-year. It's been up consistently since like 2009. I mean, the chart was different than this, but it's held trend for a long time. I mean, here it even didn't break down really. So you can see it's up. I mean, it was a lot lower. It was like 2 or 3 back in before 2012. So it's up from 4 to 10 in 2 years, and yeah, in 2 years basically. And so I mean, it's going up a lot here, but this one I believe is a medical. It's definitely a medical company. I believe they do either the cleanup or something related to the medical sector. So I saw that too, and I was like, oh well, all the biotech and medical companies crashed that day, but this one broke out to a new high. That's seems pretty significant, and it was, and pretty choreographed. I mean, if the stock's making highs when the whole sector is crashing, it's gonna have some follow through. So that's my new position, and Lee is still holding in there. Great. I mean, this is what I was hoping it would do. I mean, I said I wanted to buy the 2 hold, and so I traded it. I bought it at 202 for sure, and I took profit uh, the next day or yesterday. But anyway, so I sold 80% of that position to lock in the profit, lock in some gains, and I'm still holding 20%. And I'm up really big on the remaining shares right now because it ran about uh, it ran a good bit today. So I'll probably be tempted to sell the rest of it to take all the profit on that because it'll probably retest. It'll come down, and who knows? I might buy it again. Or I might. I mean, it depends on what it does tomorrow, but or on Monday, I might just let it run. I mean, I probably should really because I've got my my basis is from 203 a share, and I'm only holding. I've only got 20% of that I had sold, but yeah, it still could test to 280 pretty soon. So let's get some water. So I'll probably contemplate that. Selling the rest of it or letting the rest of it run. Because my stop loss is I've got a lot of wiggle room there. But oh yeah, and EXK was amazing. This one I bought at like 150, 152 or 153, something like that. Because I got a good entry on the trend line, on the trend support, and this one is great right now. It broke out of the consolidation it's in, and it looks like it's going to go a lot higher, probably maybe two. So, and it's a triangle breakout, and those are usually very powerful. I mean, I'm always amazed at how powerful a breakout from a triangle consolidation is, and they're very predictable and very explosive. And of course, they're not always that way, but from what I've seen, the very clear ones are very good. And this one's a clear triangle. I'm not trying to make it up here. I mean, it's not on a 2-year time frame or anything like that. So I may I don't know. I'm up so much. I'm up a good bit in this one. So I'll be taking profit in it probably Monday just to lock it in. So that's the other one. What else am I long? Those are my two longs. And yeah, EGY I put that one out there as a watch. Uh, I didn't buy this one. Uh, Definitely should have, but I was already long the other silver miner with EXK. The one we just looked at was a silver miner, and this one was perfect. I think I put it up. I noticed it here at like 170, and that one's did what I was thinking. But unfortunately, I'm not long, but I'm long the other ones, so I can't get them all. But yeah, I've been doing pretty good. Like I've had a couple positions going at once, and if one of them doesn't turn out right, the other one or two or three will usually work out. But my accuracy is a lot better lately. I mean, but that's just because I'm sticking to these clean charts, and it's it's not hard to look at it, see this is a good chart. There's the sell volume was pretty light and declining. it's always nice to see the sell volume, the bars go down as it goes into the end of the flag. Like here, you can't really see it that well, but the volume was higher here, and it was down, down, down to almost nothing, well, to very light on the day before it ran. Like here, it ran. Yeah, here the volume was, there's more buyers almost. So my other one was GDX, and I just been kind of watching this one, and I had no idea what silver and gold were gonna do. So I got some puts like really undersized on this day, and it was like 13.59 the stock was at, and the puts were 13.50 strike or whatever, and uh, they're the October 9th puts, and it went pretty well, and I was looking at gold was actually down overnight, and I was expecting a gap down, but I wasn't trading, and because I've just been swing trading, not day trading lately, and this one went against me pretty bad. But the good thing is, uh, I was crazy. I went really undersized, like just a tiny portion that I'd usually put in a position because it was an option, and it was my first option. And so far, I mean, it was it's pretty cool. It went against me like 34 cents or like some. It was 34 no 70 something percent down. But since I went crazy undersized, I only lost about as much as I would on a huge normal position in a stock where I would stop out. So I've only lost about what I would typically lose in a trade. So because I was thinking the risk management is a little trickier with the option, but the fact that I can use the size, I use an undersized position to get the same kind of stop out and bigger gain was is appealing. So, and even with this loss, which I was very wrong on, I still ended up really positive on the day. I came up with a net gain on the day with because my other trades that I went normal sized in, like SLP was a normal size. Lee, well, Lee was a little bit less because I'm just partial, and EXK was a little undersized, and so those all worked out, and GDX didn't hurt me really that bad at all. Uh, yeah, oil is pretty crazy. Well, this isn't the good one to look at, but you can kind of get an idea. It's just uh, still deciding what it's gonna do. Natural gas. Well, yeah, I was looking natural gas. I was right on. I was bearish because of the. Remember we looked at this triangle here, and I was like, that's gonna be the determining whichever way it goes off of this, and it tried to go up, tested and failed. So right here, well, that was the time to go short right here, and based on how choppy it is, I wasn't confident that it was going to follow through. I mean, here kind of almost gave it up, and but that just shows you the power of triangle consolidations, like I talked about. And this is natural gas, which is pretty uh, indecisive, and it's crashing off the triangle when nothing else is really was crash. Well, I mean, it's not like oil or anything, and but yeah, this is kind of what I was. This is more. These are more long term watches. These are two veterinary stocks. Pets has like a it's a it's a mail order internet order drug company for pet medicine and supplies, and it's just choppy. But it's got like a 4% dividend yield and a lot of growth. And so those are those. VVUS is a pretty cool one. I noticed this one the other day. It's it's basically a triangle, a loose triangle flag going here. So it actually looks like oil, but it's totally different. I believe this one's a biotech or something medical, and it's holding that range. If it goes up or down from this, it's going to be a good setup. It's so low priced. There may not be shares to short, but I don't know. Some of you have brokers that would have shares on this. My brokers aren't that great for borrows, but um, this one could be a good short or long. I mean, based on the volume, it looks like a long. It looks like a bull flag on the based on the this low volume here. The sellers. Uh, so we'll see what this one does. Let's look at the. I always look at the long term chart too to see what it's coming from. See, yeah, I didn't notice this before. This is a rounding bottom, which is bullish. That'll show you. That's a round bottom, which is a bottom formation. Of course, it has to be confirmed, and if it does break out, that'll be confirmed a bottom. I mean, on a long time frame. Uh, but that one's a watch. It's down, down, down. It's not necessarily bad, but it's no SLP. SLP is up, and if we could go back even 10 years, it's been up like every year. So MBLY, yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I was kind of hesitant on that as a short because of the support and the break of the it broke downtrend. So it's actually bullish right now since it's holding that break of the downtrend, and it's got a lot of support. It's coming off. So put that in the back burner. RJet, yeah, RJet is really cool. It's got this kind of triangular consolidation going. It's a really cool one. So the longer and the more it does this, the more confident I am in a setup, long or short. Because when it's doing this, it could break out and then fail, or break down and fail. So, but if it forms a clean consolidation, like the next couple of days, it looks bullish at the moment because the momentum behind it right now, and those sellers, nobody wants to sell. So Tesla, it looks just like S&P 500. Really, don't care about that right now. So I've got a lot of stuff to do on Monday, managing these, and looking to be taking some profit on those. And I'll probably scan through more stocks than I usually do over the weekend. So I'm sure I'll find something good, maybe a couple at least. And oh yeah, I was gonna talk about this is my platform. So the way I do it is there's a million things I can put up here. There's probably 100 customized things I can put up here. But well, let's see if I remember how to choose them, because I don't want to mess in what I've got here. But well, I keep it simple. I've got the price, the low on the day, the low of the day, high of the day, percent change. So it shows if it's green on the day or red. Like here is red. This one, VVUS, and the bid and the ask, and the last trade time. So really simple. And the reason I have the low and high of the day next to the price is if I'm long bias and it's high of the day. So it'll actually show it like during when the market's open. This will have a price in it, and it'll light up green, like this right here. It'll be green and it'll show me that it's hitting the highs. So I'll usually long something then. If I'm long bias, of course, and vice versa on short biased. So I've got the low next to the high. See here, I usually have the high. Well, I usually have the low and the high right next to the last, so I can see that really clearly if it's at the low of the day or high of the day, and if it's green or red on the day. It's basic momentum stuff. Really basic. And I want to see the bid and ask, of course. So that's all I do. And the intraday charts are really cool. You can pull up, you can customize these however you want. 2 hours. I've got 3 minute. I usually like the 1 or 3 minute candles, and it's got pre or aftermarket, and you can get rid of that if you want. And I always use candles, of course. So that's that. All right, that's all I want to talk about right now. This is Mark signing off, dynamitestocks.com.